Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Joel Daniel, and in this channel we discuss all things love, marriage and parenting. Stay tuned. Welcome back. Today's video is a sequel to my previous video on why did I get married. I want to start off by making a correction to a statement I made in my last video. In my last video, I made a statement that in the transition phase of life, you get born, you get married, and then you die. I stated that you do not get to choose when you are born and you do not get to choose when you die, but you do get to choose who you get married to. And one of my cherished viewers made a point to me that it's not everyone who gets to decide who they get married to. And indeed, in some cultures and jurisdictions, people do not get to decide who they get married to. Just wanted to make this correction that I am not ignorant of the fact that some people do not have that choice to make. Today I'm going to be sharing why I got married. But before I do that, I have some interesting responses that I got from the survey that I sent out to my family and friends. And I just want to share them quickly before I talk about my own reasons of getting married. I want to share the first one, which says, I got married because I found a man I wanted by my side for the rest of my life. He's the person I want to share my good moments, bad moments, and everything in between with. I knew I would only become a better person with him. I hope I offer him the same. And this is great to read because this person is aware that there's going to be good moments, bad moments, and everything in between. And they are willing to share this with the man of their dreams. And this is great. And that acknowledgement that life is not going to always be rosy, I think is very important for anyone considering marriage. I'll read the second one, which says, I needed my partner to be with me during my final year at university, so I don't have to work and concentrate on my final year studies. As it turned out, he never got a job. So I was doing 2 part-time jobs while trying to finish my final year and a husband to look out for. Oh dear. God is good. In effect, love was there already, but the next step was companionship and support. So this is someone who had a particular circumstance and felt that marriage was going to help them. But as it turns out, it didn't quite work out the way they thought it was going to work out. Thankfully for them, they were already in love. And then they knew that they needed the support of each other and companionship. So thank you for sharing that as well. The third one says that I found writing Why Did I Get Married much more difficult than I thought I would. Yes, it is a very difficult question to answer if I am honest. I think it's really difficult to put into words why I got married. But I can only describe it as knowing I have found the person I wanted to spend the rest of my life with. Different people in my life see many different versions of me, but I am truly myself when I am with my husband. And apart from the children, I love him more than anything. How sweet is this? And what is instructive here is this person says that they knew they had found a person. And there's an element of knowing in your choice of a spouse, which we'll be discussing much more later in this video. And the last one is from a couple. And I just want to share what they shared with me. The first bit is from the man, and he says that I got married because I loved her. I knew we were compatible. I knew we would make each other better and achieve bigger dreams than we ever could individually. She was and is still beautiful. I was prepared and ready. Sounds to me like someone who knew what he wanted and had a very strong conviction about this person that they decided to get married to. He knew they were compatible. He knew they would make each other better. He knew that they could do bigger things together. And of course, she was and is still beautiful. And he was prepared and ready. With marriage being such a long journey full of uncertainties, I think it's very important that you are convinced in your heart of hearts that you are really prepared and ready for this journey. as shared by this friend. And this is what the lady says. I wasn't really obsessed with getting married, but once I started dating him for a while, then I started having thoughts of getting married to him. So maybe it's because I found someone I thought was the right person. We naturally evolved to having conversations about the future and marriage. And I think I can relate with this statement about naturally evolving to having conversations about the future and marriage. And to me, I believe that this is something that stems from a very strong foundation of friendship, which I think is the most important thing that any would-be couples need to build first before they take that step towards marriage. Because when all the in-love feeling weighs down, it is that friendship that is going to sustain that marriage. I am happy that I got married to my friend, because 7 years down the line, our friendship is getting stronger and stronger and stronger. Facebook reminded me of a post I made in November 2012, where I posted, "Someday, with God's permission, I will marry the right person and with the right reason," from my Positive Confessions diary. For me, growing up as a young man, I always knew that I wanted to get married. And I just didn't want to have a marriage. I wanted to have a great marriage. So I invested a lot of time and money in reading books about marriage, about love, in attending seminars about marriage, about love. Because I knew that for me to create this marriage that I wanted, I needed to be prepared. I knew that I needed to learn from people who are already on this journey. I knew that I needed to learn from the mistakes of people. And so for me, the whole idea of getting married was that I wanted to have one great marriage. Growing up as a single young man, I knew that for me to have this great marriage, then I needed to build a very strong relationship with God. I understood very early on in my life that the key to having a great marriage is having a great relationship with God personally. That relationship with God enabled me to get to know myself. That relationship with God enabled me to identify what my own life purpose was, so that in my quest for a life partner, I would be searching for someone who would be on the same journey with me. And so this is how I see it, that if you know where you are going to, then you know the kind of person who can accompany you on that journey. So I learned very early on in life that to have a great marriage starts with me and my relationship with God. In preparing and praying about who I wanted to marry as a young man, I knew that I wanted to marry my friend. I wanted to have a marriage that was built on friendship, because I understood that when all the emotional highs of being in love wanes, it is that friendship that will keep that marriage going. Similar to all the responses shared in this video and in the previous video, I knew that I wanted to marry my friend. I knew that I wanted to have a great marriage. And our friendship naturally evolved into we having conversations about what our future was going to be like together. I didn't have to have sleepless nights on deciding on the method and the place to propose, because I really didn't propose. We just naturally started planning towards our marriage. So if there's one thing I want to share from my own story, it's friendship. Marry someone who is your friend. Marry someone that you are comfortable sharing life with. Marry someone that you know you can share the highs and the lows of life with. And if you're a Christian like myself, pray about who you want to get married to. Do not take this giant step into marriage without having that strong conviction in your heart that you are being led to this person. And when I made that post 10 years ago, that someday with God's permission, I will marry the right person and with the right reasons, that confession has become my reality today. I hope you've learned a thing or two from my story and from those of my friends who I have shared. Do not hesitate to share this video among your contacts, and please subscribe if you haven't already and hit the notification bell so you can be notified when I upload new content. Thank you for watching, and until I come your way again with another video, God bless us all.